At it again, and we got some black on black crime today, baby. All right, maybe it's not black on black crime, but I thought it was kind of funny, to see this kind of situation go down. But before we hop into it, make sure you guys hit that like button, and if you're not subscribed to the channel already, hit that subscribe button down below and join the family. And make sure you guys are following me on social media. Those links are all down below in the description box. Okay, and with that being said, let's jump right on into this black on black, I guess, little beef we got going on. Let's check it out.
So if you've ever watched a White House press briefing, you know for a fact that Karine Jean-Pierre doesn't like you at all. But don't feel bad, because she despises someone else more. She really dislikes a specific reporter from Africa. His name is Simon Atiba. He works with Today News.
Left is supposed to love black people. Like, we got one of the, if you black, you got one of the Infinity Stones. You know, the Infinity Stones of woke. Like, if you're black, if you're LGBTQ, if you're black, you got one of the Infinity Stones. Like, you part of the group. She's supposed to love my guy. And he's actually African. Like, he's from Africa, legitimately. Not born in America, like.
He's had a lot of hostile encounters with Karine Jean-Pierre for some reason. Yesterday, she freaked out on him and stormed out of the press conference, ending it early. We kept track of this weird psychodrama going on. Here are some clips from it.
She's asking about the origin of COVID-19.
I hear the question.
And Dr. Fauci is the best person to answer that question.
I hear your question, but we're not doing this the way you want it. This is the disrespectful. It is. I'm done. Simon, I'm done. Simon, I'm done. I'm done with you right now.
So what's the difference between President Trump not doing anything while the Capitol was being attacked and President Biden not doing anything while protesters, while the Supreme Court justices were under attack?
To say that there is no difference, that is just unbelievably wrong.
But is it concerned that Supreme Court justice
I'm moving on. I'm moving on.
You don't give us questions.
Okay. I'm trying to answer your question. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Again, I just tried. You wouldn't let me. Go ahead.
No, but can
I just tried, and you would not let me, sir. So your colleague is going to ask a question. Go ahead.
Ask you a question.
No, I literally just tried to answer your question. You shut me down. So now your colleague is going to.
Let me ask the question first before you answer.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.
Question on the respect for marriage?
It's a good thing she's unarmed, or Simon Atiba would be in deep trouble. He's his correspondent for Today News Africa, and obviously kind of a hero. He joins us tonight. Simon, thank you so much for coming on. Wait, you can feel it watching that tape. She is mad at you. Why do you think that is?
Yes, first of all, thank you, Tucker, for having me on your show. There's a reason why your show is the most watched show in news in the U.S.
Facts. Hey, yeah. Huge shout out to Tucker. Huge shout out to Tucker. #1 news show. You guys remember when we were checking out, well, maybe some of you might not remember because we've grown so much since then. But we checked out the ratings for like all of the news shows from MSNBC, CNN, and Fox held like the top 15, 16 spots, which was just absolutely crazy. It was just, it was like probably 100, maybe 60, different shows from these news stations. And Fox was like top 16 spots, and then you had MSNBC. It was like MSNBC, then Fox again, then MSNBC, Fox, CNN. CNN didn't like come in until like 23 or something like that. But Tucker stood at the very top of that list, the very, very top. So, shout out to Tucker, baby. Shout out to Tucker.
Because you bring people like me. It's been a disaster in the U.S. Because you bring people, your show is the most watched show in news in the U.S. Because you bring people like me. It's been a disaster, a total catastrophe, a real nightmare covering the Biden White House. Right now, I'm the voice of Africa in the U.S., but I can confirm that the level of discrimination against me and against African journalists in the White House, it's outstanding. It's disgraceful. You know, it's been 3 months that we don't have questions at the White House. Even as President Biden is about to receive 50 African heads of state in D.C. for the U.S. African Summit, she didn't even give us even a single question. I've been trying for the past 3 months. And, you know, it's shocking because she's black. She's an immigrant. I'm black. I'm also an immigrant. And she's discriminating against me more than the white people who were, the white lady who was there before.
Because you are only black if you are on their side. That is it. You are only LGBTQ if you are on their side. Have y'all noticed that? Have you noticed that? They try to champion the, you know, black people and, oh yeah, we're doing this for black folks. But the moment a black person thinks for themselves and says, no, I don't like your idea of things, you ain't black. Excuse me. Who are you to tell me that I'm not black or I'm not black enough? How many times have we seen someone who is part of the LGBTQ community say, no, I don't agree with Democrats, and they've been shamed and ridiculed? Hold on, wait, I thought we were supposed to be protecting the LGBT community. I thought we weren't supposed to say anything negative about but the moment that they disagreed with the left, you attacked them? As Maj Toure said, you Democrats, you leftists, especially, you know, the ones you call leaders, we're on to you. We see what you're doing. We see what you're doing. You don't truly care about anybody except for yourselves and the power that you hold. And you want to hold on to that power. And you'll do it by any means necessary. But we're on to you. We see through the smoke screen. You know, these leftists try to throw down a smoke screen to try to confuse everybody, but we see straight through it. It's like the smoke isn't even there. Let's continue on.
And it's shocking. She should be ashamed of herself for
Absolutely.
doing that, and it's heartbreaking.
She's obviously a bigot. You can see it in her face. She really, really dislikes you. Do you suppose it's because you don't have the same views that someone who looks like you should have, in her opinion?
Yes.
Yes, so I believe that has to do maybe with 2 or 3 things. The first thing, I sound different. I wasn't born here. I was born in Cameroon. I speak French. I speak different languages. I don't have the American accent. I tried, I failed, and I've decided to stick
It's
with
all
my
good,
accent.
brother.
So I'm an immigrant, and she doesn't like that. And I asked tough questions. For instance, I will ask her, how is it understandable that President Biden is inviting 50 African heads of state to the U.S. who will spend almost $50 million each, and he doesn't have 5 minutes to spend with each of them. He won't have any one-on-one with any of those African presidents who are coming here in countries where money is already a big problem. Why not have this meeting on Zoom, for instance? You know, and so I asked questions about COVID. How do you explain that 1 million people?
That's another great point he just brought up there, and I just want to touch on this really, really quickly. Have you guys noticed all of these climate folks? You know, these climate elitists. Oh my goodness, you know, climate. We gotta save the planet. I'm jetting off to my meeting over in Singapore. I mean, not literally Singapore. That was just the first place that came to my mind. I know it's totally random. So I just said whatever came to my mind. I'm hopping on my private jet over to England to meet with all these folks. Oh, you're all hopping on your private jets? Interesting. Last time I checked, a jet emits the same emissions that a car would over the course of an entire year in one jet flight. Just one. So your one flight, this doesn't even include you coming back. Your one flight there is going to create the same amount of emissions as my vehicle would in an entire year. I'm supposed to do something about it. What? Oh, well, no, I'm important, so I got to go to this meet over Zoom. That's what cameras are for, right? That's what the internet is for, right? If you truly care about the planet, if that's the actual agenda, we have cameras and we have high-speed internet. Very high speed. What's the issue? Oh, once again, rules for thee, no rules for me. And they wonder why we say no. You're full of it. Because of stuff like that. But let's continue. I'm sorry. This stuff just really annoys me while I'm sitting here watching some of this stuff. You know, I just get so angry because people are buying into this crap. And I'm like, yo, how am I the only one that sees through the smoke screen? Like, how am I seeing this as clear as day? And some of these other folks, oh no, we gotta save the planet. Oh, we're gonna throw sauce on a painting and glue ourselves to the like. I'm sorry, yeah. Let's continue on. I'm getting off track here. My bad.
You know, and so I ask questions about COVID. How do you explain that 1 million people, if we have to go by the official figures, 1 million Americans were killed by COVID, and we don't know where COVID came? You lied to us. You told us the COVID came from bat to human, and then now we understand that it probably came from the lab, and that's the most consequential question. And she wouldn't even allow Diana from, Daily Caller to ask that question. And when I intervene and say that, no, you need to allow her to ask the question, I'm being blacklisted, and it's unfortunate, it's disgraceful.
Well, you are always welcome on this show, and I suspect we will see you again. Simon and Tiba, thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Always welcomed. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you see these guys and gals are just getting more and more power hungry, more and more unstable. You see them getting angrier and angrier. It used to be all smiles and jokes while they were doing their thing, back in the back. Now it's in your face and they're getting angry because people like my guy there are calling them out. And everybody is starting to see it. You got protests going on overseas in certain places and in regions where people are like, no, we're not following. No. We didn't elect them at the WEF, whatever, That's not who we selected to lead us. And you, who we selected to lead us, is now listening to them, which we don't care about them. We care about us. So now you must go. I forgot what place that was where they literally chased off their leader, the president. Where was that? Like they pulled up to his house where he was living at and literally chased him out of there. They're like, no, we ain't doing it. We ain't doing it. So you have a lot of situations like that. Now, obviously, you don't have that here. And I don't ever want to have that here, okay? But you have a similar situation when it comes to just speaking, because people are like, no, we're not just going along with the narrative. We're speaking out against it. And you see, the mainstream media is trying their hardest to keep it quiet. Their hardest to keep it quiet. The Twitter files, for example. How many times have you heard MSNBC or CNN talk about it? How many times? How many minutes has CNN or MSNBC covered the Twitter files exposing what the government was doing? But let me tell you something. Nancy Pelosi's husband, something happened to him. Oh my goodness, we got to run that for 2 weeks straight until the truth started getting a little bit muddy. Or I should say until this truth really started coming out. Oh. Psst. Psst. No more coverage. No more coverage. We're on to them, fellas. We are on to them, and I love to see it. I love to see people standing with me and seeing straight through the smoke screen as if it's not even there and seeing the actual truth. Oh, no, we see. Anyway, Hope you guys have a great rest of your day or week, whenever you're watching this. All right. Like, share, comment. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. Peace and love. I'm out.